It's preparing to live stream the meeting.
No.
It's going live on YouTube, so yeah, it's done. So a very good afternoon to one and all. So welcome to the session on programming. So what is programming? So we humans, we have a set of language or a set of rules to communicate with one another. We use language as a communication tool. There's some disturbance. Okay. So how we humans have languages to communicate within ourselves. Similarly, computers also have certain language to communicate within themselves. We call it the binary language. It is not as compatible or as easy to understand the human language. The binary language is just made of two characters, that is zeros and ones. So the combination of those two characters are used to. It's not live.
Check if anybody watching on live.
Is anybody getting the YouTube live? Is it live or not? Can somebody?
It's like,
Yeah, it's live. It's happening.
let's start it now. Good.
So the binary language is just made of two characters, 0 and 1. So the combination of those two characters are used to convey any message or send and receive data in the computer. So with the primitive, with the basic message transfer and communication, binary languages are fine. We can do it. But when the message becomes too complex and the message to be sent or the data to be transferred is very huge, going for binary language is very difficult for humans understanding and decoding, because there will be millions of zeros and ones. So you'll have to make combination. There will be million combinations. So it will be very difficult. So to make the communication between a machine, that is a computer, and the human being easy, something called a programming language was developed. So basically, a programming language is a set of grammatical rules. So we call it syntax. So the syntax are the grammar of the programming language, certain rules and regulations, how the command has to be written so that the message can understand. So using the programming language, we write codes so that we can convey our, increase the mic volume. Now is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So where was I? Okay. So programming languages were developed for humans to communicate easily with the machines. So we follow a certain set of rules called the syntax. So using a syntax, we write so that we can communicate or send message or receive information from the computer. There's something called a compiler. The compiler acts as a translator. It translates the human language to the machine language, that is the binary language, zeros and ones. So the programming language usually will be in simple English, which is a human readable form. So the compiler does the translating part. It translates the human readable form to the machine readable form, that is zeros and ones. So why do we have to learn programming apart from the reason to communicate with the machine? So if you have to become a developer or someone, a computer scientist, coding programming is fine. So what if I have to get another domain? Basically, programming is all about cracking the logic, building the algorithm, the logic. So basically, it develops your logical and problem solving skills. And above all, it is like super fun to learn as well. So the same, if I'm not a geek, why should I be learning? Why knowledge is required? So it is technology, as I said yesterday in the yesterday's session, technology has become inevitable. So in every field, you have programming into it. It's not just you develop a software. Even if you go to get into accounting, there you'll be needing So even in the field of music, in the field of sports, even in sports, they use analytics to figure out the pattern and stuff. So almost it's inevitable. Programming is everywhere, it's present everywhere. So it has become like a basic skill these days. So there's always this image has been like this is how it portrayed even in sci-fi movies, like programming something complex which only geeks can do. It is so complex, lines, thousands, hundreds and thousands of codes to be written. It's so difficult and stuff. But there are also similar portals or similar interfaces where you can, where learning programming can be made simple, easy, and fun. So there's a tool called Scratch. It allows anyone to create computer programs without even learning the complicated syntax. That is the grammatical rules to write a program. So there are several programming languages that's being used, like let us say C, C++, Java, Python. So each programming language will have a predefined syntax. It's not the same for every language, just the base. Certain things will be common, but each will have a predefined set of rules, grammatical rules. But with Scratch, you don't have to learn any of those syntax or grammatical rules. It's just a drag and drop interface. You just have to learn the logic and what to use when. So Scratch is a visual programming environment. It makes programming and coding so easy and interactive. So you can create things like some graphics, some animation. You can develop a game, and you can make interactive communication. And there's so much to play with it around. So and above all, it's so easy to learn. It doesn't require much of computer knowledge. So Scratch was basically developed by the media 2003, and several updates followed. And based on this Scratch, they were this is a most important thing. The Scratch program is open source. You don't have to pay for it. It's free, and anybody can use it commercially as well. So since it's open source, the entire code structure is available, and people have also modified it and uh, gave some add-ons to it, and they're also using it for different purpose as well. So the basic objective of Scratch is to introduce you to the visual programming environments. You can't call it actual. It takes you into the world of programming. It's like the basic. It introduces you how to write a code, how it happens, the logic behind it, the structure, the flow, and everything. And it's to introduce you to the programming with multimedia and stuff, such multimedia like storytelling, music making, game making. And it will also give you an insight on the programming concepts, basic concepts, the logics used behind the sequences, the conditions, and the input output events, everything. So if you are on a computer, open this link, scratch.mit.edu. Even if you're on a mobile, it will still open. You can try it out. So if you find the screen to be small in the mobile, you can switch to the view in desktop mode. So I'll just open this link. I'll also paste this link in the chat box. I'll just paste the link in the chat. So I put the chat link in the chat. I also put it in the YouTube chat. So you can open that link. So yeah, this is how the so please just I'll just take you through the process. So I'll just take it slow. So if you have anything, just drop it down in the chat section. So this is how the interface looks in. Just type the website address in the URL bar and then click start creating. When you click start creating, it will take you into the interface. Interface. So are you guys able to see the screen? Yeah.
Yes.
This is how the Scratch interface looks like. So just annotate. So the things that you see this side, the left side, some blue color boxes and stuff. So that section is called the all our logical commands. And the one where you see a cat standing, so this box is called the output viewing panel. That's where we visualize our output. And this middle space, the middle empty space is where we drop all our commands. It's where the interface where we'll be writing our code. So if you take this, it's just easy to understand. It's like self-explanatory. You just look into this move. I just click this block, I click it and drag it, and I drop it in the middle. I click, drag and drop it in the middle. I don't think it's getting reflected. Yeah. So I drag and drop this. I just click this move from the left side panel. I drag it and drop it in the middle. So when I click this, you can see my the cat. It's moving, right? So it's the character is called the sprite. So similarly, when I drag this turn and I drop it, I click this turn, it will rotate. So this command is to turn 15 degrees in the clockwise direction. So if I will have to rotate it in the anti-clockwise direction, there's another separate command. I bring it down, and when I click it, you see it turns in the anti-clockwise direction. So these individual commands, so similarly, you have looks, you have something where it can say you a hi. When I click this say hi, it says you hello. You can see the sprite telling hello. Yeah. So all these individual blocks, see, you can say hello, and you go to sound, it can play some sound as well. When I click this start sound meow, you can customize it. We'll just go through step by step. We'll be going through everything. So let's initially moving the sprite. This character, right? So you can also select a different character. You have just annotate. So in the bottom, do you see this thing? The bottom. So here you can, when you just hover your mouse cursor on this, it will show you choose a sprite and paint and surprise and upload. So just go to choose a sprite. I'll just click choose sprite. So you have so many options. You can choose whatever you want, something of your choice. I'll just choose. Let us say I choose a dinosaur one. I choose my dinosaur. I click this, so it gets imported. So I can delete my existing. You can click on the sprites and you can move it and place it wherever in the window. So I'll just delete my existing sprite. I'll delete the cat. When I click this delete button, it gets deleted. So I have this dinosaur in the screen. So the first step, let's see how to move this dinosaur with a code snippet. So I just wanted to move 10 steps and then rotate 15 degrees and then 15 degrees in the clockwise direction. If possible, please make a note of the statement. Move the, my objective is to move the dinosaur right, then rotate 15 degrees clockwise, then rotate it 30 degrees anti-clockwise. So this is my problem statement. This is what I want to execute it. So to move it 10 steps in the right, I'll just drag and drop this move 10 steps. So this is done. So the next step has to be turn 15 degrees in the clockwise direction. So I'll drag this, and if I bring it close to the existing move 10 steps, it gets snapped to it. So it's like a building block. You can just snap it and unsnap it. If you get it close to it, it gets snapped to it. So the next is like turn it anti-clockwise directions 30 degrees. So I'll get the turn anti-clockwise command and I'll drop it here. So I can change the value inside. It was like 15 degrees. I want it to be 30 degrees. So I'll make it 30 degrees. Now, if you see, if I click on this snippet in this block, you don't see any, you just see some turning in anti-clockwise direction. Though we have three commands happening in anti-clockwise direction. The reason is because the time of execution between each step, that is moving 10 steps and then rotating clockwise, very fast. Very fast so that it's not visible on the screen. It gets processed internally. So in order for us to see the process happening, we'll have to have a delay between each steps. So I'll just go to control. So I have a command called wait for 1 second. I'll drag it inside the screen. So I'll add this wait for 1 second between each steps. That is, it'll have to move 10 steps to the right, then wait for a second, and then turn clockwise 15 degrees. Then again wait for a second, and then turn clockwise 30 degrees. So I'll just separate these two blocks. I'll add wait in between. I'll add it here. Now if you run it, you see it's moving and then anti-clockwise. So the speed between clockwise turning and anti-clockwise turning is so fast. So I will have to add another wait in between these two. Add it here. Now if you see it, I click this, it moves 10 steps clockwise and then anti-clockwise. So we were able to see all the three processes happening. It's just because of the delay that we gave in between. So this is the motion of the dinosaur. So similarly, we have all other motions, like such as you can click this go to random position. It will take the sprite to some random position on the screen with fixed coordinates. So basically, the screen is split into four coordinates. It is split into four coordinates. This will be positive x. This will be positive. This coordinate, and the bottom coordinate will be negative. Bottom direction will be negative. Similarly, this will be positive. The right side, the y direction, this will be the positive y, and the opposite direction will be the negative. So when we are specifying the directions for it to move, if I give instead of 10 steps, if I give it as minus 10 steps, it will move in the opposite direction. So that's how I change the direction of the movement. So I hope you guys understood the basic of this. Similarly, I just go into looks in the code panel. You see this is the code panel, and you have sound and events and stuff. If I go to sound, if I just wait, so it's like start pop sound. Bring it here. You have a sound option here. I click the sound option. And then you can choose what go to the bottom. Choose, and then I choose a sound. I click this. It takes me to the gallery of sounds. So I have so many options there. So I can choose whatever I want. I can just simply some sound happening. I think you guys are able to hear the sound. Do you guys hear the sound from my system?
No, sir.
No, okay. Then I'll stop and share it again.
Sir, I think you have to share the computer sound.
Yeah. I'll do it. You can choose whichever audio you want. You can choose it, and we go back to the code, and I click this. I'll have this. I can choose it from there. Beatbox, the sound which I selected. So when I click this, it will generate a sound. So you can try it out in your system as well. If it's not audible through my system on the Zoom call. So now we are to delete a block that is already there. I just right click on it, and then I can delete the block. So that I can delete the block. So now we are done with the basic movement of the character. So now we'll get into the logic stuff. So what if?
Sir, one doubt, sir. I have one doubt.
Yeah, ma'am.
So how can we execute all the blocks together?
You just click on the blocks like this. For now, you just click on it. You'll have a highlight on over the block, a yellow color highlight.
Okay.
So we also have when flag clicked option, so which we can insert and do.
I'll be coming to it.
Yeah.
So for now, if you click on this block, when it's getting executed, you will have a highlight over it. So it will be like executing. So this is the basic operation. So now we'll get into the conditional statement. So
Excuse
what
me,
if
sorry, sir. The screen is not clear.
screen is not clear? Okay, I think it's getting optimized.
It's blurred, sir.
Okay, share it. Yeah, I think it should be fine now.
Same like that, sir. It's not clear.
I think it's because of the network.
That's true. It's just because of the signals and all that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So now we'll get into the conditional statement. So what if I want to control it with my keyboard? So I'll go for a different character. I'll go to my sprites. I'll choose a new character. Choose some character. I'll choose this beetle bug. I'll bring in the beetle bug. I'll delete the existing character. You see a delete option over the sprite. So I click it, it gets deleted. Also, you can select it and you press the delete button on your keyboard, it gets deleted. So I've gotten my beetle bug. So now let's control it using my keyboard. So we'll use the 4 arrow keys: up, down, left, and right. So it's like on the conditional statement. So if I press my up arrow key, it should go up. If I press my down arrow key, it should come down. If I press my left arrow key, it should go left. If I press my right arrow key, it should go right. So this is the conditional statements. So in programming, for the computer to understand a condition, let us say if a statement is met, I say some statement. That is, in this example, our statement is when I press the up arrow key, it should go up. So we use a statement called if statement. So you go to the control section on the left side, the code, you have the control button. You click on the control and you have a if statement here. I bring my if statement here inside. So what this if statement does is, you see a small place here. So this is where I will put in my condition there. So for conditions, I'll just go to my operators. So you see all this is based on shape matching. So you have something, a diamond. So you can easily figure out I need a diamond shaped box that has to go in. So it's not so much complicated. You can easily relate it. So inside if condition, just a second. Yeah, in sensing, you have this option called when key something is pressed. So I'll drag this and I'll put it inside the if statement, inside the diamond box. So it becomes like this. So the if statement is when space is pressed, only then the if statement will get executed. Okay. So I'll make it as like up arrow. I'll make it up arrow. So when I press up arrow, I want it to move upwards. So previously I explained the coordinates X and Y direction. So for it to move up, it has to move in this direction, upwards. So this is positive Y. This is positive Y coordinates. Y positive. So I will have to move it in the Y direction. So I'll just go to my motion. In motion, I'll have change y by 10. I'll just drag it and put it inside. Okay, I'll make the value as, let us say, 3. You can put whatever value you want. So if I run this code, you just see the this thing is blinking. It just gets highlighted and goes off. It's because it's done executing. It's not happening through it. So to overcome this problem, what we'll have to do is, I'll just go to my events. So here it will have the initiating condition. So it will have when green color flag is clicked, when some key is pressed, when the character, that is the sprite, is clicked, when backdrop switches. Are you guys able to follow? On the left side, there's some menu called events. So inside the events, you will have this initiating conditions. So I'll just take this when green flag is clicked. I'll bring it and I'll put it inside. Okay. So when this condition is done, when I put this when green flag is clicked, so you see a green color flag in the top right. So when I click it, the code gets executed. The code
It's a
gets
run
executed.
button.
Yeah, a green color flag and a red color stop. You just hover your mouse over it, it will show go and stop. So when I click it, it just blinks and goes off. So even if I try it now, it just blinks and goes off. Can somebody tell me why it's happening so? It just blinks and goes off.
Sir, because in our commands we have given that when up arrow is pressed, we're not pressing the up arrow.
Okay,
Sir,
you can try it out. I'll just click it and I press my up arrow. I'm
Sir,
pressing
I
my
think,
up arrow.
Right,
are we giving two events, sir, like when the flag is also clicked and also when the up arrow is clicked? So we should give any one.
No, the event is started.
Okay.
The event is started, so it is coming for one blinking message.
Okay, I've just clicked it. The event is
I
started.
think wait option should be used.
Okay, I'll just bring in wait option. I'm bringing in wait. Where should I put it? No, should I put it inside if loop or outside if loop?
Inside.
If,
Okay, I'll
before
put it.
the
I'll
if
put it
statement.
inside. Okay,
Before
I'll put
the
it
if
in.
statement.
Okay, before the if statement. Okay, I'm doing it. It goes off, but I just want it to go on. What is it? It has to go on forever. It should keep on going again and again. Only
We
then.
have to give it
Yeah.
inside the loop, sir. forever block we have to have.
Yeah, exactly. So now if I do it, even if I give a wait, it just waits for 1 second. When this, it's like one block after the other gets executed. The first block is when I click green, this first block gets executed. I'll just minute it. So this first block gets executed when I click green. So then what happens? The second block gets executed. It just waits for 1 second, and then the third block if statement gets executed. It will check if the key is up or not. Then it will change y, and then it will execute it. Then it will exit. It will go out of the program. It will not get executed. But for us to move the beetle continuously, that is to up or down, it should continuously keep on have it. It should continuously keep a track on what the input is being. That is up arrow or down arrow. Only then we'll be able to have a constant control. If it quits out of the loop, it will not be taking input from it, and will not be able to control it. So to overcome this problem, there comes in a loop called uh, forever. You just go to controls. You see this loop here, forever loop. What this forever loop does is it keeps on executing. It goes on infinite times, again. Whatever is inside it, whatever you put inside that loop, it goes on forever. So this, I just put my if loop inside this forever. I don't want this wait. I can delete it. It's not necessary there. I'll just keep forever. I'll put it here. Then I put it inside forever. So now what happens is when I click my green flag, the forever loop gets executed. It keeps on going again. It runs on infinite loop. So I'll just press this. You see, it's like just, it keeps on, it's highlighted forever. It's not getting out of the program. Now if I press my up arrow, you see it's moving by 3. It keeps on, since the program is executed infinite times, every time the if statement gets encountered, it's executed, it will look for the input, whether the up arrow is pressed or not. So if I press my down arrow, the if statement will not get executed. Because the condition gets failed, because I'm pressing my down arrow. So only when I press my up arrow, it will just move up. You can see the beetle bug moving up. So now I'm pressing my up arrow. So this is what the forever loop does it. So to stop this, I press the red color button, stop button. When I stop it, it stops on. Okay. So now I've done it for just for up. For me to have the other keys as well, down key or left or right key, I'll put multiple if statements. I'll bring another if statement inside. I'll again put when key is pressed. When key, I'll just put it inside and select the required key. I'll put it as down arrow. And then I'll go to motion. I'll click change Y by, because I'll have to have it move down. So I'll change Y by. Since downward is like the negative direction of Y axis, I'll have to mention a minus sign between before the value. So I'll make it -3. I'll make it -3. So for me to move left, I'll have to have another statement. So for the left and right, we'll do it with another example. We'll just do it with up and down. So when I click this green flag, the loop gets executed. It goes on an infinite loop. So when I click the green flag, the first block gets executed. Then it gets inside the forever loop, the second step. When it gets inside the forever loop, you have 2 if loops. So it just goes in the hierarchical order. So the first if gets executed, it checks for the statement. If my up arrow is pressed, then it goes inside my change by 3. If this is not, if the statement of the condition is not met, if the condition is false, that is my key is not up arrow, then it will not get inside the loop. The loop will not get executed. It will come out of the loop. So it will check for the next second condition, like whether the down arrow is pressed for the down arrow is pressed or up arrow is pressed. Then I'll go for then it will get inside the if statement. So in order to explain this if statement, we can relate it with a real life example. So let us say we go to a supermarket to buy a curd from an XYZ brand. We go in. So the first option is I'll go to the supermarket. I'll go in and I'll keep on searching. So that is getting into my forever loop, because I don't know where. Let us assume I'm going there for the first time. I have no idea where it is. So I'll just keep on looking for the objects, forever it is to, until I meet my objective. So I keep on looking for objects present in the supermarket. If I find a curd, the condition is it is a curd, yes, then I'll go into the if loop. I have two conditions. That is, first if condition is it should be a curd, and the second if condition is it should be of the XYZ brand. So I'll just go in, I'll just look if there is curd. If I find a curd, the first if condition is met, I'll just go into the inside if condition is executed. Then I look for the XYZ brand. If the XYZ brand is also met, I'll buy it. If the XYZ brand is not met, then I'll leave the shop. That is, I'll quit the program. So this is how the basic structure of if and for our works. I hope it's clear. So we'll move on to the next. So these small blocks are called statements, as I said before. So it is the direct way to tell the or it is like a command. So there's something called a Boolean expression. Boolean expression is a statement which can hold or take up only two values. That is, it can either be true or false. It can't take up any other values. It's like a natural event. So like a universal truth. Sun rises in the east. It's true or false. Sun rises in the west. It can either be true or false. It can't take any other value. There are like 8 planets in the solar system. Again, it's a Boolean expression. It's like a true or false. So in programming, we use this in so many places. These Boolean expressions. So these Boolean expressions are used to these Boolean expressions are used in conditional statements. That is to verify if our condition is met or not. If my condition is true, let us say, similar to the supermarket example, where I say if the curd is present, if curd exists there, or this product is a curd, if the statement holds true, then the other conditions will get executed. If it is false, it will get out of the loop. It will come out of the loop. Just a second. Yeah. So one such block is this thing. Move. Even the previous example that we saw is also an example of a Boolean expression. So conditional statements, we have like similar to the if conditional statements, we have multiple conditional statements in Scratch. That is similar to if. We'll also have when and until. So the difference between if and when is, let us say if gets executed only once. If the if statement is met, if the if statement is executed, it will check for the condition what it is. It will compare it and then comes out of the if loop. But when will keep on checking again and again until the condition is met. So it will be like an infinite loop. So that's the difference between if and when. So depending on the situation or the scenario or the problem that we are solving, we'll come up with we'll use the type of conditional statements. So this is the example that we saw. So we'll also do another example on if statement. We'll just do an interactive if statement.
Sir, I has a small doubt actually.
And you can delete this block. Okay, I'll delete. You can delete the. I'll just stop it. I'll just right click on it. You can delete all 7 blocks. I'm deleting it. So now I'll make a interactive kind of a conditional statement. Let us say it will ask for your name. Then I'll have to enter my name. I'll have to give an input. So usually every machine works with this logic: input and output. When you give an
Excuse me,
input,
sir.
you get an output. You take a light or a fan. You take, yeah, ma'am, yeah.
Sir, is C programming and Scratch is related to each other?
Yeah. I'll be covering it. I'll make the connection between how it is related and stuff. So that's the entire.
Okay, sir.
So that's the objective.
Okay, sir.
So, yeah, every machine works with the input-output logic. You take a fan, it has to have an input. Only when you turn on the switch, it will turn on. When you turn off, it will turn off. Without an input, there will be no output. So similarly, with a computer, we'll have to give an input and there will be an output. So here I'll give my name as an input. If based on my name, I'll make it to play some song that I want. Let us say I have two people. I have Varun and I have Davan. So if Varun enters his name, it will play a song which Varun likes. If I put in Davan, it will play something a favorite song of Davan. So I can also make it move in a certain way similarly. So we'll just look into it. So the first thing I need is the initiating statement. So I'll go to the event. So I'll take the code initiating statement when green flag is clicked. Then I'll get into, just a second, hold on. I'll just go for sensing. We have this command called ask what's your name and wait. You can add whatever question you want. Okay, I'll just put it here next to it. So it will take your name there. So below this ask what's your name in the code panel, you'll have a checkbox answer. When you enable it, in this place you can see the answer enter in. So it's a checkbox. If you want, you can enable it, or else if you don't want, you can disable it, uncheck it. So this is the box where you get the answer. I'll just have it checked. So I'll enable it. So then I take an input. So can somebody tell me what is the next step? I just take my input. I told you the objective. What the objective is to take a name from somebody, take an input as a name. So based on the name, it will have to play a sound or a music or a song. So if it is, let us say Varun, it plays a thing, and if it is like Michael, it plays, or a Jack. If it is Jack, it has to play another music. So can somebody tell me the logic? What has to be the next step?
So the next step will be like, we will be typing the answer, like what is my name means. My name is so and so, like, or just the name. So once I receive the answer, I have to check my answer with the question, whatever I'm going to give. So whatever the action I'm going to proceed with. So if it is, if it matches with that, so the action will perform.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where we get into the conditional statement. We'll compare. We'll have to compare. Yeah. We'll have to get into the conditional statement, and in the conditional statement, compare the values. So usually in programming, we have multiple comparison operators, that is equal to, greater than, less than, not equal to. These are all operators used for comparing values. So let us say X is greater than Y, X is less than Y. Jack is taller than David, or Jack is shorter than David, or is heavier. So comparison, all this comparison, we use equal to, not equal to, greater than, and less than. These are the four major comparison operators that we use. So we'll be using an equal comparison operator. We'll be equating two values. So I'll have to get into a if statement.
Is equal to Varun.
Yeah. So I'll have to get into the first conditional statement. That is if I'll go into control, I'll take if. Okay. Then I will have to compare. So I have to compare the two values. Only then, if two values are the same, if they are true, if two values are equal, only then the if statement will get executed. So now I'll have to get into the
points discuss.
ഓക്കെ മാം, പിന്നെ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം മാം ഒരു സൂചന പറഞ്ഞു, ഇനിയിപ്പോ അടുത്ത ഇത് തുടങ്ങി 10th ക്ലാസ് ഒക്കെ എടുക്കണോന്ന് എന്തൊക്കെ പറയണുണ്ട്.
ഹലോ ഹലോ
Yeah. So please just mute yourself after you answer any question so that we don't get any disturbance. So I'll have to compare the two values. So I'll go into operators. I'll have an option for comparing. You see this? So this is the comparing operator, that is equal to. I'll just drag this and I put it inside the if statement. If statement. So I'll again go into sensing, and the place where I selected my ask what is the name and weight. So just below it, I'll have this answer. I'll just drag this and put it inside one of the values in the equal to comparing condition. So my answer is equal to, I'll make it Jack, J-A-C-K. Answer is equal to Jack. If this condition is met, then it has to execute something. So I'm not sure whether the audio is getting shared. So you can also go for a sound. Let us say sound. You can just play sound until done. I can select from this. I can select. I can put it here and I can play a sound. Since I'm not sure the sound is getting played in the online call, I'll go for some other action. Let us say moving or gliding. Okay, let me I'll just go with gliding motion. You can try it with the sound. Since I'm little skeptical about the sound getting played in the online session, so I'll go with the glide option. So just go to motion. You'll have glide 1 to random position. So I'll put it in. I'll delete this block. Okay. So now let me execute this. If it is Jack, the beetle, my sprite will just move to it will glide to a random position. I'll just change the time. I'll make it like 3 seconds. For 3 seconds, it will glide to some random position. So when I click this, you see, it is asking what's your name. I'll just type Jack, J-A-C-Q. I press, it's just gliding to some random position. So when I execute it again, let us try with the wrong input. You see, nothing has happened because the if statement has failed. The Boolean condition is false because the answer is Jake, which is not equal to David, which is not equal to Jack. So the if condition will not get executed. So this is how the conditional operator works. So you can also add multiple if statements. You can add in some other condition. Let us say I give a second answer. I say David, it has to do something. It has to rotate or it has to play some other different song. So this is how the conditional operator works. So now let's build a small game. You'll be excited with this, I hope. I'll delete this block. I will delete my block. So what I'll do is I'll go to Google Images. I'll just share my screen.
मैंने उनको फोन किया वो नहीं आया अब मैं फोन नहीं करूंगा हमको वो करे अभी बोल के यहाँ से देखिए अरे पहले तो उसकी निकाल तो एक आंख मार पाएगा नहीं ये ना आप ही करके एक सीख रहा ना कलर का
I think you can mute all the participants, no, sir?
Yeah, I'll mute. I just muted them. We are unmuting them.
That is really irresponsible behavior, very much interrupting.
Yeah, I'll mute. Okay. I'll just go to Google. I'll just go to Google. I'll just type helicopter. Helicopter. You can also type PNG. PNG is an image format where I'll type helicopter clipart PNG. So PNG is a file format in which the background is transparent. not have a background inside. So I'll select some helicopter of my choice. Let us say I choose this. I click this and I just right click on this and I save image. I just save this image, just download the image. Then I'll go into my Scratch. I'll just delete my existing sprite. So in the bottom, choose a sprite option. I'll go. In the top, you'll have this upload sprite. I'll click upload sprite. So and I'll select my image. I'll select the helicopter and I'll choose it. So my sprite is coming. So I can change the size. I'll just make it 30. So it becomes small. So now my task is to fly this helicopter, to control it to the keyboard. So this is my objective. That is using my arrow. This is arrow keys. I'll have to control it. If I have to press up arrow, it will go up. If I don't press arrow, it will keep on falling left and right. So this is the objective. Okay. So I'll start with the first step is like the initiating process. I'll just go to events, selected. Then I'll have to go for forever loop. I'll just go to the controls. I'll just select forever. I'll put it. Then I will go for if statement. If. Okay. Then inside the if statement, can somebody tell me what should be the condition for the first condition?
If up arrow pressed.
Yeah, if up arrow is pressed, I'll have to select the if up arrow is pressed. Go into sensing. If key is pressed, I'll select up arrow. Then it has to go up. So I'll go into motion.
Change Y position.
Yeah, change Y by. I'll put in. I'll make it. Let us say 3. Then I'll do the same for left and right. I'll just go into control. I'll take if. It's going to say key is pressed. No, it should be right arrow. So right arrow should be X positive. So I'll go for change X by 3. Then same for control. F should come outside. Okay. Then sensing. If key is pressed, I'll make it left arrow. And then it should be negative Y. Sorry, negative X. So I'll go change X by 10 to -3. Since it has to move in the negative direction. Initially I showed you the coordinates, how the positive negative directions are programmed. So since it has to move towards the left side, it is the negative X coordinate. So I'll have to add a negative sign in front of the value I gave it. So now let me just start it. I just started. So the game will be interesting only if I have some, some difficulty. So the helicopter moves. Let us say I press up arrow, it goes up. I press left, it moves left. And I press right, it moves right. But what if I don't accelerate my helicopter? I don't press any button. In reality, will it be stationary? Will it be in the same position? No, right. It has to, when I don't press anything, it has to fall automatically. That's how helicopters work. So if I put in that approach, if I make my helicopter fall automatically, if I don't press any button, it will be little exciting, right? So how do I do it? How do I do it? How do I make my helicopter keep falling? If I don't give any input, if I don't press any button, like neither my up arrow, down, left or right, so it should keep falling. It should not be.
We should use the L section of in the program. L section can be used in the program.
Okay.
If any condition will not satisfy, then definitely some other action will be taken.
Okay. Okay. So if I use else, let us say I'll go to controls.
else statement and change y by minus something.
Great. So an if else statement is something. If else statement is like a duo. So if statement is not satisfied, the else has to get executed. So it's like a duo. So instead of going for this, I'll go for but there's a challenge here. I'll tell you. So if I use this else if statement, I can use only one condition. That is either it can be up arrow, down arrow. If I up arrow is pressed, execute something else, it has to keep following. It should keep falling down. But we have three conditions here, three if conditions. So if I have to do it for three separate things, so the code will become very big. It'll also work. It's a right approach. I'm not saying it's wrong. But there's another approach where you can do it with just one line of code. So if you have to use the else if statement, I have to use else if for the first condition. That is, if up arrow is pressed, it has to go up and y, else it has to keep falling down. Or I go to second thing and the third thing. So the code will become an additional 3 lines. So instead of going for 3 lines of code, you can make it with 1 line of code. The approach is also right. I'm not saying it's wrong. So I'll just go with a simpler approach. I'll just delete this block. So what I'll do is I'll go to motions. I'll just change y by 10. Go to here. You see, it keeps falling. What I did is constantly my y will keep falling, -1, -1, -1. Since the loop execution speed is, it is like in 1/100th of a second. So when the entire loop gets executed, when I don't press any key, change y by -1 will keep on happening. So when I execute this code, you see, when I press the green flag, it keeps on going down. So when I press up, it goes up. It goes left. It goes right. It keeps on going down. So this can also be done with the if else statement. If you want, you can try it out, but this happens just with one line of code. So usually an effective code, people call it when it has the minimum number of or optimal number of lines in it. So it keeps on falling. So we are making use of the advantage of the forever loop. So every time it gets executed, the y keeps on changing, -1, -1, -1. When you press up arrow, it goes up. Then it goes left. It goes right. So this is how we do it. So now let's make it a little more challenging. There's no objective to meet right in this game. It's just simply flying, going up and down. So let's create a challenge or an objective where you have to move a helicopter from one docking station to the other docking station. That is like from point A to point B. Let's make it a little more interesting. So let's create our own background here for this game. So what I'll do is, you have something called choose a backdrop here. I just click this. Similar to the sprite and the audio features that you had, you also have a library of backgrounds here. So you can choose from this whatever you want. But I'm not going to choose from this gallery. I'm just going to create my own backdrop. So you can choose what. Let us say I choose blue sky. You'll get a blue sky here in the backdrop. You get a blue sky, but I don't want this. I just want to create my own custom. I'll just delete my backdrop. I'll just go to paint. I just click paint. I take the rectangle. I'll just draw a rectangle. 1, 2. I'll just make it of 2 different colors. I can change the color. Just the color fill inside. You just click the fill option. Let us say I take yellow. In the color, just make it, or else let's make it as red and green. So it's like the end point and the target to reach. We'll make the target to reach as green. We'll make this as red. I'll make this a little more bigger. So in the right side, you can see how it is happening from left to right. So now in the top, I just click this tab here. I can click this code. So my objective is to, I'll just place my helicopter here on this from here. From here, I have to fly it and land it on green. This is my objective. Now let us say I execute the same code which I did before. It doesn't, you see, it doesn't stand on red. It just falls over red. I just wanted to make it on red. And also similarly, when I reach green, it has to stand on green. So this is my objective. This is the objective I have to go. So with this, we can figure it out. The existing code is not working. I'll have to make some changes too. So my controls are fine. So if I press up arrow, it has to go up. Left arrow, it has to go left, right. That's fine. So my controls are done. It is sorted. So the logic which I have to figure is it has to stand over this red color block or red color building, and it has to stand over the green color building. It should not fall off. So that's the objective. I have to figure it out. So how will I do it? So the next step.
It's starting go to option.
Okay. Yeah, ma'am.
After that, we can find out the X and Y position. When it is reaching the X or Y direct position, then it has to stop.
Amazing, ma'am. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Super. It's an amazing solution. So that's how we figure it out in the programming environment. But Scratch has made our job little easy. We'll not have to do so much of mathematics, because Scratch is all about fun. You don't have to put in so much effort in figuring out things. So Scratch themselves, they have given a small option to figure it out. So
It's
going for the coordinates and figuring out.
It's a
Yeah,
touch.
yeah. So yeah, going for the coordinates is a brilliant, amazing idea. So, but Scratch has made our job simpler. So I'll just go to blue color. This you see here, touching color. There's something called touching color. I'll just annotate it. So you see this option, touching color. So when it touches a color, you can execute some command. So you can put it in your conditional statement. That is, if it is touching so and so color, you can make it to do something. So from here we can proceed, right? So we have got the conditional statement. We have got an option when it's touching a color, you can execute something. So we'll proceed from here. So what I will do is, I'll just bring in I'll take
Again, we have to go in the if block.
Yeah, I'll take this condition. I'll take one if condition.
Control block.
Go to controls. Take if. I'll put this inside the if condition. So I'll have to change the color. That is green or red. So I'll click this, and I can pick a color from this. There is an option to pick color from the environment. I'll just click this option, and I'll go and select this color. So it has become green. If touching color, okay, I've put this. Then what should I do?
Then stop all.
Stop
all the script.
If I stop all the script, it will just come out of the script. The other things will not exist. It will not keep looking for the command from the user. If it comes
when
out
it
of
is
the script,
touching the green means it is stopping the animation, correct, sir? Then we can use stop all or.
Yeah, ma'am. If you stop all, if I just come out, if I use the stop all option is something it exits from the loop. The entire program. The program will stop executing. So if it comes out of the program, then it will not keep looking for input from the user. So
simply
when
break can be used.
Yes, sir. All this break and stop all options are just to exit or quit the leave the this thing.
Or pause can be used.
Pause.
Continue or pause, something like that.
Yeah, we can use, but there's no such option in Scratch. So I'll tell you the logic how we can do it. So the option that we have in Scratch is I'll give you the available options. You try figuring out. The option is you can just move it. It should either go up or down, left or right. You can't make it stand still in some position. You can't stop the animation, or you can't make it stop still in a position. Nothing.
Then
The
standard position can we give?
Keep on getting executed. The available options are no, ma'am. You can't.
Wait, no, sir.
You can give a standard. You can give a standard position, but it will be fixed.
Down. Go to a particular
Sorry,
position.
No, wait. Wait until the next command is given.
Okay, wait. Let us say I give wait as 5 seconds. I give 5 seconds. A user just lands there and he wants to take off again another 2 seconds. He can't do it. He'll have to wait for 5 seconds. If I give it as 2 seconds, if he just wants to stop the helicopter there, leave it there. You just consider this as a real-time example. This, since it might look like a simulation thing, but the same concept that is used in a drone, how it is done in autonomous drone, where you have a camera.
If touching this color, it has to glide.
A glide is still moving, right? I just want it to be stationary. It should stand on it.
So y is equal to some particular
position. Go to a particular position.
point. Y is equal to maybe 10, the height of the green or red.
Set x is equal to some point and y is equal to some point.
Yeah, x and y some point you can do it, but won't that it will work? Put x at some point and y as some coordinate, but won't that become so specific? If I let us say if I put wait, I'll annotate. Let us say I put this point, I give this coordinate. So my helicopter can stand still only in this coordinate. What if he comes and lands in it? So I should give the user the freedom to use the entire space available.
Stop.
Yeah, I'll tell you the answer. So there is an option called in the Boolean thing. There is an option called not. So you see here, it's not something called not. So whenever my helicopter is not touching green color, whenever it is not touching green color, I can make it to fall. It will keep on falling. So this is the logic. So whenever my helicopter hasn't encountered green color, it will keep on falling. So what if it encounters this thing? What if it encounters green color? What will happen if I give it instead of not? So not is like the reverse of the given statement. If I say I am Arun, if not of I am Arun is I'm not Arun. So I put it inside the not loop.
Whenever it is not touching, it has to keep moving.
Yeah, if I put my touching color is equal to green inside not, so I put it inside the if statement, and then I go to motion, and then I make change y by -2. Let me say -2. If I just execute this if statement, what happens is it'll just keep on moving in the y direction, keep on falling until and unless it encounters green color. So when it touches the green color, it will not move in the y direction. So this is the logic behind this. So many people came up with brilliant ideas, everything were correct, but with the limitation of the Scratch, with the options available in Scratch, this is the best possible way you can go for. So now what I'll do is I'll put this loop inside. I can remove this change y by -1 because it will not be required now. Put it in. Put a change y by -2. So now I'll execute this loop. So it keeps on moving. I just go up, I come here. You just see it doesn't move beneath it. Because this, when it gets inside this, what happens is the moment I start the command, the green flag gets executed. Then it gets inside the forward loop, and the first if condition is like checked for true or false. So let us say my helicopter is somewhere here. So my if statement is false. If it is somewhere here, the if statement is like touching green color. It is not touching green color. So it will keep on if the statement is true. because the statement is not. It is not touching green color, so it keeps on falling down. Then it look for the other option. If you press up, it goes up, left and right. But when I put this, when I take it to the green color, let us say leave it here. So again, this first if condition gets executed, but the statement stands false. So the change y by -2 is not executed. It will not happen. It will not move down. That's why there's no movement in the negative. If I leave it, it just comes and stops. There's no movement in the negative direction. Okay. So is it clear? Any doubts in this?
Sir, you have mentioned in the second condition that it should up when you do up arrow. So it is changing by 3.
Okay.
So, sir, how it is coming in, getting stopped on the green color block, sir?
Yeah. So changing x by 3 and x by -3. Are you asking about x, right?
No, the second condition, sir.
Y by 3.
Okay, y by 3. Okay.
Yeah. Y by 3 is moving in the up direction. It's moving up.
Up arrow, yeah.
It is moving up. So inside this not touching green color, I given it as -2. -2 is moving in the down direction. Okay. So let us say when I don't touch in the second condition, let us say change y by 3. When will this change y by 3 will happen? When will it get executed? Only when I press my up arrow, right?
Okay.
So it is an if condition. Only if the condition is met, the inside part of the if gets executed. Only if I press my up arrow, it will move up. If I just drop my up arrow, it will not move up. Okay, is it clear? So only only if the if statement is true, it will move up. So when you take the first if condition, the if condition is
can you keep the helicopter at the other place and then try to start from the beginning, sir?
You want me to place it on red?
Yeah. Now when you click the flag.
I'll just leave it here. I'll start it. Okay, I started it.
Yeah, it went down.
Yeah, now I'm pressing because I didn't press any button. I'm just pressing my up arrow.
Okay.
Now I'm pressing my left arrow. It's moving to my left. I'm pressing my up and left together. So the if condition, you see the second if condition where change y by 3 points gets executed only when I press my up arrow, because that is the statement that I've declared inside the if statement. Only you see key up arrow pressed question mark. You see that? So only when I press my up arrow, a condition inside the loop gets executed. If I don't press my up arrow, the condition stands false. So for a false statement, the inside statement doesn't get executed. So the if statement goes to the next statement.
So it means that you are you're pressing the keys, you're pressing the arrow, still it is coming on the top of the green color block. Like
yeah, yes. I'm controlling it. I'm controlling it with my keys, keyboard keys.
Yes, sir.
So when it encounters green color, the first statement, that is if not of touching green color, becomes false. So if it is true, whenever it is encountering white color, this statement is true.
Yeah.
So that is why it is moving in y direction, y -2. So when I bring it on green color, the statement becomes false and it doesn't move on y -2 anymore.
Okay.
So we have to write the same code for the starting red area also, na?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to.
Yeah, I'll just come. I'm just coming.
Okay. Okay.
So you just see, it's not just you can place it on the top. You place it anywhere on the green, it will stand. It will not move because this condition stands false. It's not. It's because it encountering the moment it encounters, it stops. That's why it looks like it is. What is it? It's standing on the block. It's not actually. You just place it anywhere on the green, it stands still. It will not move. I placed in white, it falls. You see, I placed in white color, it falls. The wing is my sprite component of the helicopter. Whenever it encounters green, it stops. That is my condition. Now is it clear? I understood.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you.
It encountered green, it stops. So since the moment it encounters, it stops. It looks like it is landing or resting on the block. So it's not actually resting. It's not like any support it's having. It's because it has encountered the green color and the loop stands false. So y -2 is not getting executed.
And sir, we are controlling with the help of our arrow keys and we are making it to stand at that place.
Yeah, the objective is to take my helicopter from my red color green color. So this is the game. From A to B, I have to take it. Using my keyboard, I have to control it and take it. So that is the objective of this game. So now it is fine. We understood how it is standing on the green. So we'll also have to have a docking place for it on the red block as well. If I leave it on red, it keeps on falling because I've just mentioned only green color. So how do I do it? Do I have to mention another separate if loop or like any ways where I can go? Any approach, any?
So we can use and in the if condition.
Okay, we'll go for and. We'll go to operators. We'll have something called and. Okay, I bring it in and then I go to my sensing. I take touch color. I put it inside this. So I'll bring my knot outside. I'll make touch green color. So I'll change the color to red. I'll pick from the palette. I'll pick from here. Just change to red. Okay. I'll put it inside knot. And then I'll put it inside if. Okay. Previously it was standing on my green color, but it is not. Now it is falling. Why? I just gone for and.
It should be or.
Or operator.
Yeah, sorry, it should be or either of the condition.
Yeah, and is like both the conditions should stand true.
Yeah.
Only if both the conditions stand true, it will get executed.
Yeah.
So if it is standing on both green as well as red, the 10 count as both, then the condition stands true, it will work fine. Since it is either green or red, so then I have to go for my or option.
Or, yes.
So I'll just go into my operator. There's an option for or. I'll bring it. So I'll replace it with and. I'll put the two color conditions inside or. I'll delete this. And I'll put my or block into not. So now I'll place it above red. Let's see if it is resting or is falling. You see, it's resting. So my game is ready. My environment is ready. So this block A and block B. So now I'm going to control my helicopter with the arrow keys. I just press up arrow, it goes, and then I press front arrow, it moves front. Then I go. Then I land it on the other block. Hooray! So my objective is done. From A to B, I've reached. So this is a basic structure you can build, and you can make what is other hindrances in between or hurdles in between. Like have some object here, so that they have to go over it and reach this place. And some hindrances, you can make it more creative or create a different. Instead of going from point A to point B, you can have a zigzag path and some hindrances in between, hurdles in between. So you can make it as creative as you want. So, so we have come to almost end of the session, end of today's session. So some of you might be having a thought. So I learned all this drag and drop. I just have these conditions. I'm just playing with this helicopter. Everything is like virtual. It's like in a simulated environment. So how will I be using it in the real life? Where will it be working? So it's like nowhere different from the real life applications. It is so similar. So here, instead of moving a helicopter, when I press up arrow, the helicopter goes up. When I press left, the helicopter goes left. When I press right, it goes right. So in the real life, we will be dealing with a just a second. My system is about to shut down. I'll just connect the charger. Yeah. So in the real life, you will be controlling a real let's say a real helicopter or a robot, where if I press my up button, the motor has to rotate in the forward direction. So the robot will move front. When I press my left arrow key, it has to take a left turn. When I press the right arrow key, it has to take a right turn. So the logic is like the same. I have to have a forward loop and allow it a if condition, multiple if conditions. If so and so is met, this is how you bring in the image processing stuff. Let us say it captures an image. And let us say the image has some hurdle. Let us say a stone. Then it has to move up. It has to take a left. It has to go around it. It should not hit on it. So there's the same logic you use in the real life as well. Just the syntax and the environment, the programming interface changes. So the logic is the same for everything. So here we did a game with a virtual helicopter. So you can, the same concept is applied to a real-time, real-life helicopter as well, a remote control helicopter. This is how we control, this is how we program it. You will have a controller. The controller, when you press the up arrow, it will send out a signal, let us say X, Y, Z. So in my program, I'll have to receive my X, Y, Z, and I'll have to compare it with the received value. If my received value is equal to X, Y, Z, then I'll have to move up. If my received value is equal to A, B, C, then I'll have to move left. If my received value is 1, 2, 3, I'll have to move right. Just the data transmission pattern and the interface and the little stuff change, but the basic of all programming, all coding is the same. That's why we start with the Scratch. This is an amazing platform, an amazing tool for anybody who wants to start with programming. It has got so much to learn. So there's also a similar kind of interface for artificial intelligence and machine learning, which will also be doing it on the day 5. So we'll have similar kind of examples and fun with it. So if you guys have any questions, you can please ask. I hope you enjoyed it. You liked it.
Yeah, really a very innovative session. Sir, can you please suggest how to convert Scratch file into an executable file?
You can't execute it in some other interface. Let us just do it in the Scratch interface only. So you can save the code to your computer. You can download it and save it, and actually you can load it as well again.
Hello.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Do you have any queries? Some more? I have posted the link.
Ma'am,
Session.
I have tried to just respond to the attendance which you have posted. For such a long time, it says that you have already responded. You have already responded.
Yeah, if
but
you have
halfway,
responded, you respond only to 6.
No, ma'am. I didn't complete the form fully. Suddenly, my phone got switched off, so I had to just charge it again, and I started with that. So apparently, I was using laptop and I didn't complete it.
Fill the link which you wanted to attend. Okay. Where you will require your attendance, you can just fill that particular session 4, 5, or 6, whichever is. Session 6 is present going on.
Yes,
So 5
even
was
session
the previous session.
Even session 6, I believe you have posted just now.
No. This is 6th time I'm posting session 6.
Then okay. Then I would have done it, ma'am. Okay, then fine.
6th time I have posted.
Yes.
So that if you're more concentrating on the session, you will not able to attend it. So I have just posted it. I'm just informing you because the session is coming to an end.
Then yes, ma'am. Yes. Then I have already responded it. Sorry for the wrong. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do you have some more questions for the session? Do you have some more questions for the session? Or do you want to end the session?
Ma'am, our attendance is not being updated on the ATAL portal.
Yeah, it won't be updated. It will be updated only on the last date.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bridget, sir, you're continuing how to execute that. Can you continue it?
Arun Bharati, who was explaining.
Yeah. We'll be doing it in tomorrow's session. There's also a part 2 of it. So we'll be doing it in next session.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Very interesting. We'll also be looking into how it can be, how this can be linked with the real life application, how the code and where it has to be uploaded, how it gets executed in real life robots. So we'll be doing
I enjoyed doing simultaneously, sir. It's very interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Can I escalate the speed of the helicopter also if I'm pressing a key instead of normal again movement?
Sorry, sir.
Can I escalate the speed of the helicopters just to press some power key or something like that?
Yeah.
Increase the speed.
Yeah. That is like if I let us say it's like a nitro boost you're asking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, but in this interface it doesn't have that feature. So here it's all about just moving it in the X and Y direction. So if I have to move it like a little faster, I'll have to change the Y to, let us say I make it like 6. I make it 6 and execute it. It just goes a longer distance in just one click.
Right, sir.
But in real life, how it works is, this is like a digital signal. In real life, we work on analog signals. That is, digital is nothing but, I think in electronics, I'm not sure whether Brijesh sir or like taken the class, told you about digital and analog signals. Digital is just two values, that is, it will be high or low. But analog is like from 0 to 255. It has got 256 bits. So based on the input, you will get the speed. So in analog, we can do it in real life. That's how we get all the remote control cars. When you just move it too forward, move the joystick front, go faster, little it will go slow. But
Very
here
right.
in this interface, it doesn't have that feature.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shall we end the session? Any more questions do you have?
I think everybody liked it and it was informative as well.
Yes, sir. We enjoyed a lot. The session was very informative.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was the first session. I think morning we had on mechanical concepts. The second session was on electrical concepts. The third session was on programming. So mostly all the three sessions you must have enjoyed today. These are some of the starting concepts of robotics. So tomorrow onwards, first session is on meditation, which is at 9:45 to 11. I want all of you to be present for that particular session. Okay, it is very nice. Please experience something different from the regular classes what you have. So one session on meditation and one session on pedagogy. Pedagogy is how you teach, the methods of teaching. So please join us tomorrow morning at 9:45. Okay, thank you all.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Arun?
Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you.
was such
Thank
a
you, ma'am.
wonderful session today. So thank you very much.